Hi, my name is Dave,
And I'm Kathy.
and together we are big people making small changes. We've been together for about 4 years, although we've been married for only the last two and a half of those. I'm 46 years old, and my wife here is 37 years old. And as you can see, we are fairly big people. We're looking to make a change to that, a very heavy duty change to that, by making a series of small changes over the next several months to try to get a hold of our weight and get a handle on living a healthier lifestyle.
Now, it's not a big surprise that we've gotten to be as big as we are. We both work sedentary tech jobs, so we spend all day sitting in front of a computer. And then we come home and spend all night sitting in front of a computer because we are also avid gamers. A lot of our activities are more sedentary ones. We like going to the movies. We like playing games. And part of what we need to change is to increase our activity level a little bit. The other thing we have to change is that we like food, we like it a lot, and we like to enjoy how it tastes. A lot of the foods that we like are fattier foods, saltier foods, higher carb foods. And we're looking to improve the quality of the food we eat and eat healthier options while still enjoying what we eat and eating enough that we're not starving. Now, neither of us are really in front of the camera kind of people. Dave does some video editing as a hobby, and I do creative writing and I do design work. So why would we decide to make a video journal of our weight loss journey? One of the biggest reasons is that we're actually looking for the accountability of it. We're hoping that having to report when we slip up will help us not slip up as often. Having to admit on camera if we maybe skipped a workout will keep us doing our workouts. Having you there available to encourage us when we do well and remind us to stick to the straight and narrow when we aren't, I think will also be a big help.
The main reason we want this is motivation. We're hoping for both external motivation from you, the people that we're sharing this channel with, as well as internal motivation. If nothing else, then, oh well, we shouldn't eat these chips because then we're going to have to talk about it in our movies the next week. Or we shouldn't skip this workout because we're going to have to confess it in the video next week. We also have to stay on track with it because we're going to be planning to put one of these videos out at least every week, if not more often. We're definitely going to do a 1 week confessional type video every week as the main point of our log, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to work in some additional content showing you, some of the exercise we do, some of the things that we're eating, things like that. Just spots of interest, right? We're looking to share our victories with you, but we're also looking to share our setbacks. So when we do skip that workout, or when we do have that bag of chips that we shouldn't, or something like that, then we're going to be honest with you and tell you about it. This is a warts and all production. So that means the good with the bad. We're not going to edit out the fact that we didn't have a great week or that things got away from us. We're going to come in here and tell you about it. And hopefully the repetitive nature of keeping this vlog current will keep us motivated to stay on track with it, and that way we can report on things that we're happy to report about.
One other thing that we were hoping that this will give us is a space to talk through some of the challenges that we face. It's psychologically challenging to commit to losing weight, especially on the scale that both of us need to lose weight at. And we're going to come across times when we really don't want to stick with it. We're going to come across times when we would love nothing better than to demolish a chocolate cake. But if we can sit down and we can confess and work through why we want to demolish the cake, what we think we'd get out of it, and maybe kind of try to think of ways that we can get that feeling without the cake, and maybe get your feedback on those thoughts, I think that'll go a long way to helping us. The foundation of our approach this time around is that we're trying to make small lifestyle changes and phase them in gradually. So the plan is we come up with a few goals every month, and we implement them over the course of the month, and then come back at the end of the month and assess what worked, what didn't, and or add as necessary. One of the things that we are going to be working on is cultivating healthier attitudes towards our eating. We both recognize that we have psychological hang-ups, for lack of a better phrase, when it comes to food. Dave has food addiction and some emotional eating. I'm also guilty of emotional eating, and I have this really strong love-hate relationship with food and restriction, and any time I start to try to diet or restrict myself, it gets ugly. So we're going to try to come up with ways to be careful about food, be smart about food, eat good amounts of food, lose weight, and have it something that we can do for the rest of our lives.
Now, one thing you'll notice in any other videos or stories that you read on the internet about people who are successful about losing massive amounts of weight, food is only one part of the equation. You can't lose weight without doing some sort of exercise, increasing your physical activity. And that's what we're going to be doing. We've been practicing a program called DDPY, or DDP Yoga, for about a year now. The program, made by the former pro wrestler Diamond Dallas Page, was built with specifically rehabbing injured people or old people or people like us who are extreme overweight, who can't necessarily do the standing weird yoga poses and the extreme flexibility things that other yoga programs demand. It's designed to help us strengthen muscles that we haven't used in a long time. We started out with the program where it's centered around having you do everything while sitting in a chair, and building up the muscles you need to get you out of that chair. We're going to be starting this vlog here at week 1, day 1, with his Stand Strong program, where we'll be doing yoga with the assistance of a chair, which means it'll be nearby, in front, behind, off to the side, wherever, to assist with balance, to make sure that we don't fall over and hurt ourselves, and are able to advance and get stronger and grow stronger. DDP loves to tell you you're getting stronger every day, and that's our sincere hope. We do want to get stronger every day. We're also going to incorporate increased walking in our regimen. We started a little bit back before Christmas, and then the Christmas season came and drove the malls crazy, and I wanted no part of it. But now that things have calmed down again, we're going to go back to our local shopping mall. It has a nice big loop that works out to about 1 kilometer, and we're going to walk it every single week, at least once. It's got a bunch of benches and seats around that for when I do get tired or if pain overtakes me, that I can sit down. But the goal is that, between the yoga and the dieting and the walking, that I'm gradually going to be able to get further and further each week. And I'm going to be using it sort of as a barometer of how I'm doing. If I had to stop 5 times this week and only had to stop 4 times next week, that's a sign of progress. This is what we're going to be starting with, and like Kathy said, we'll reassess a month from now to see what's working, what's not. So here's our commitment to you, the people that we're hoping are going to support us along this journey. We're going to guarantee you at least a once-a-week check-in video. We're going to tell you what we did this week, how often we exercised, and for how long. We're going to do a weigh-in. We're going to show you the scale. You don't have to take our word for it. We're going to show you whether we gained weight, whether we lost weight. You're going to see the numbers for yourself. And we're going to report in to you guys each and every week. As I said earlier, we're going to update you once a week and hopefully more often. So that when we find a new diet-friendly recipe that we really enjoy and satisfies all that food enthusiasm that Kathy mentioned a while ago, we'll share that with you. Maybe show us making a batch of it or whatever. We plan on showing you some of our workouts doing the DDP yoga, and maybe a trip around the mall with me. Maybe I'll pull out the camera and check in with you each time I have to stop and sit down. But guaranteed, at least once a week, you can expect new content here to see how we're doing each and every step of the way.
And as I stated earlier, we're trying to take it 1 month at a time. I have a habit of trying to implement diet ideas and then giving up on them after a week when they feel like they're not working, or they feel like the implementation isn't working or something, and I don't think that's giving it a fair shake. At the same time, you don't want to commit to doing a year of something if it shows after a month that it's not working. So we're going to take it 1 month at a time, give it our all, commit to doing whatever our goal is for that month, for the whole month. And then at the end of the month, we'll sit down and we'll say, okay, this diet goal really worked for us. This diet goal was really hard to implement. Our weight went down. What can we change about our goals? What can we add to our goals? And try to sustain the positive changes that have been good and continue to add to them so that it feels like just living rather than trying to do a second job of weight loss.
And I honestly think that's a big part of the key. I've heard a couple of different diet gurus out there who shall remain nameless say that, it's about changing your lifestyle. Don't try to add this. Don't make this a regimen that you would do while also trying to do everything else that you normally did. Everything else that you normally did is how we got here in the first place. We're going to try to change everything. We're making room for our exercise. We're making room for additional meal prep time. Whatever we need to do, we're going to do it. And hopefully you guys come along for the ride with us. Until next week, when we have our first video, I'll say goodnight. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Night.